Duval Daily live from Crescent Beach down here at the family condo, enjoying some vacation time as we get ready to start the month of July. Unbelievable. And y'all know what happens in July, training camp later in the month. And once training camp hits, it is full steam ahead towards the 2025 NFL season, towards the 2025 Jacksonville Jaguars season, a season which a lot of change at the top of the organization. It's exciting. You've got Travis Hunter coming in here, big, bold move. You've got a lot of talent from free agency and the draft, and a lot of talent remaining on the roster, as we've talked about. Guys, holdovers, Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker, Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr., Tyson Campbell, Oluokun, among others. But right now, it is the month of lists and rankings, the season of lists and rankings and all that good stuff. PFF puts out a ton of content about these sorts of things, and it's always fun to look at. And so over the next couple of days, we'll probably just be doing one show. Wednesday, we'll probably be back to the regularly scheduled 2 shows a day for y'all, having a good time, getting ready for training camp. And right now, we're looking at the PFF list linebacker groups in the NFL and ranking them top to bottom. And the Jaguars linebackers, according to PFF, 6th best linebacker group in the NFL, which is really interesting. You can look at it from a lot of different perspectives. Obviously, the Jaguars, from an investment standpoint, over the last handful of years, their linebacker room should probably be easily top 6, definitely top quarter of the league. It should probably be even higher than that, just based on investment alone. We've talked about that ad nauseum on this channel. Obviously, the architect of the linebacker room, as it currently is constructed, is gone, Trent Baalke, and he was heavily interested in adding as much linebacker talent to Jacksonville as he possibly could. Honestly, it was astounding to see the way he pivoted away from what the rest of the league was doing so heavily, so frequently at the linebacker position. This is one of the most devalued positions in football today. I think there's good reason for that. We're going to talk about that. But Trent Baalke, 2022, signs Oluokun to a massive deal. Very big deal at the time. I think top 5 linebacker. In terms of how much he was getting paid. Same year, has the first overall pick, takes Trayvon Walker, and then trades back up into the first round to select another linebacker. And you're like, okay, so, Trent Baalke really wanted to just say, hey, we're taking care of linebacker, we're going to be done. We got Foyesade, our high-priced free agent, who's a young guy. We got Devin Lloyd, who we traded up for, back into the first round. Traded up from 33 or whatever it was up to 27 to get Devin. So you used that 33rd or whatever it was, 33, 34, can't remember exactly, to go up and get Devin. And you used a 4th round pick. So you've invested a big free agent contract. You've invested a 2nd and a 4th round pick. And you're like, okay. So the Jaguars, they went heavy on linebacker, but they got their duo. They're good to go. Nah, not so fast. 3rd round comes around. Jags have 2 picks. Chad Muma comes off the board to Jacksonville. And Chad Muma's a player I liked coming out of Wyoming a good bit. I liked Devin Lloyd a ton too. So you've now invested a 2nd, 3rd, 4th round pick in the same draft and a big free agent contract into the linebacker room in 1 year. You're like, okay, they can't possibly draft another linebacker in 2023, right? Wrong. Ventrell Miller, 4th round. I think the Jags tried to trade up for Ventrell Miller in that draft, but he still fell to them, which is hilarious. So, yeah, couple years in a row, just unbelievable heavy investments at that position. And then, new regime comes in. They don't really ship off anyone outside of Caleb Johnson, special teamer. They don't bring back. And this year, what do you know? Fourth round comes around, and another linebacker, Jack Kaiser, another player I like a good bit. So from an investment standpoint, between both the past regime and the current regime, there's just so much invested in this linebacker room. And I will say the Jaguars, James Gladstone, Liam Cohen, everybody making decisions over there, they did elect not to pick up Devin Lloyd's fifth-year option for 2026. So he is in now a contract year. Big year for Devin Lloyd. Having the Jaguars ranked at sixth, could I see them being the sixth best linebacker group in the NFL? Optimistically. Yeah, I could. I think Oluokun is one of the more underrated, undervalued, under-talked about linebackers in football. Not only is he a tackling machine, he is a big play machine in terms of third down stops. Like, this is the guy. When the Jaguars need a big stop in a big moment, he's the one that provides it more often than anyone. When it comes to like getting a tackle short of the sticks on third down, things like that, right? He's also the green dot player. He's been heavily involved in linebacker development, helping out the young guys a ton, both, on the field on game day, getting people like Devin Lloyd lined up in the right spot, but also just like something that always sticks out to me. I don't remember now. I think it was 2023. All the Jaguars veterans, as Doug Peterson would do if there was good participation in voluntary OTAs, he would give them mandatory minicamp off. And Oluokun was like, nah, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay, help out my group, help out my guys. And I thought that was just incredible leadership by him. And he continues to just be an incredible leader, really good football player. I think that he's been awesome. So to me, like, that is a key piece to what should be a really good linebacker group. The problem is none of the other investments have paid off in the way that you would like them to. When you use a second and a fourth round pick to move up to get a linebacker in the first round, that player really needs to be very consistent. And Devin Lloyd has not been super consistent to this point in his career. He has been a great run defender, and he does not miss tackles. There's no question about that part of it. The issue is, in coverage, there's too many busts. And like, he has the ability, the physical ability, the mental ability, all that stuff to be a really good coverage player. You've seen it at times. Like, he started off his rookie year incredible in coverage. Making plays every single week on the football. And you've seen that, the flashes of, passes defended and interceptions since then as well, but you've also just seen way too many coverage busts. And so that's the issue there. And that is an issue that, some former coaches in Jacksonville and a lot of fans and local media think Devin Lloyd shouldn't even be on the field at times, right? And sometimes it does look like that. I'm as big of a Devin Lloyd supporter as there is. I thought when, 2022 draft, I thought he should have been a top 15 pick, even with the devaluation of the linebacker position. But to me, there's just a little bit too much of variance in the ability to cover, and I think a good bit of that probably does stem from coaching issues on that defensive side of the ball. It's been pretty bad. So, but Devin has responsibility in it as well, and so he's going into a contract year. I think he could be one of the better linebackers in football. And Devin Lloyd and Oluokun could be one of the best duos in football. But to me, Devin Lloyd has a lot to prove for this group to get there. Now, I do think the depth is strong. Chad Muma, Ventrell Miller, Jack Kaiser. That's good depth. I think all of those guys in the right system could potentially start and play at a high level. I think Jack Kaiser probably is viewed by this team as a potential future starter. I think they would like that in the future. I don't think that the Jaguars are going to be busting down the door, even if Devin Lloyd has a really good year, to pay him a ton just because of Again, do you want to be that heavily invested at the linebacker position from a monetary standpoint? Probably not. I think that he should be used as an attacking player, downhill, blitz off the edge, blitz from the linebacker position, blitz up the A gap, run and chase. Not super complex coverage schemes for the linebacker position. It needs to be taught better. It needs to be comprehended better. It needs to be taken to the game field better. All of it needs to be better. I think that this coaching staff has a chance to utilize him a lot better than previous staffs did and get a lot more out of him. I think he was also playing too heavy last year, which impacted his ability to flip his hips, to turn and run, to read and react a little bit in coverage at times. I think that he has a chance to have a huge year, and I think he has a chance to get paid in a big way following the year, like Zach Bond type of money. I think that that's on the table for a player that I know a lot of people in the league were very high on coming out. For a player that, former first-round pick, if you have that type of year, just ask Jawan Taylor. And now I'm not saying Devin Lloyd's going to get the type of money that Jawan Taylor got a few years back from the Kansas City Chiefs in terms of the percentage of the cap, right? The salary cap's gone up a lot, but Devin Lloyd could be in that mid to high teens range money-wise if he has the type of season he's capable of having. And I think that he would get paid that somewhere else in all likelihood. If that happens, the Jaguars could have one of the better defenses in football if the linebackers play that way. I think Foye is going to bring it. I think he's going to have a good year. I think Devin Lloyd has every opportunity to have a very good year, and I think the depth is there for it to not be like some massive drop-off. Now, it will be interesting to see how the linebackers are utilized in this defense. We don't really know exactly what Anthony Campanile is going to do. We kind of know what he probably should do to maximize some of the players he has. Again, Devin Lloyd is more of a downhill player than a backpedaling type of guy. More often than not, I think is going to lead to the best results, obviously, but and also simplifying things, teaching things properly, making it to where you don't have to think too much. You can just read and react and use your natural instincts that Devin Lloyd does have. So, I think that Lloyd, Foye, Jack Kaiser, Chad Muma, Ventrell Miller, it's a strong group. There's good special teams value as well. I think they're going to be good against the run. I think that they're going to be good attacking players. And ultimately, I think they could be one of those groups, like top 6, like PFF has them. I just don't think I could personally put them there yet, based on what we've seen. And also just based on the lack of information we have about Anthony Campanile's defense. A couple things that could be optimistic things. Anthony Campanile, former linebacker type of guy himself. Tim Lukabu, the linebackers coach, I think is a really good linebackers coach. So those are a couple key points that I think could help this group a lot from a coaching standpoint. And it's interesting, linebacker, the way they get paid, a lot of it is just because it's such a scheme-specific position. The way they impact the game, what they're asked to do from scheme to scheme. And so you have a guy that might work really well in one scheme, not work well in another scheme. And so that's why I think there's just a real lack of dominant linebackers and a lack of linebackers getting paid that way. And they're just put in a really tough position in the modern NFL. Tough to cover and tackle, play the run, and be able to be a good man coverage defender and zone coverage defender from the linebacker spot. It's a lot of responsibility. It's tough to do. So that's my take on the Jaguars linebackers. I don't think they should be ranked 6 in the league right now, but I think that they have the potential to be deserving of that ranking and even higher. I think that they could be if Devin Lloyd reaches his potential, reaches his ceiling in a contract year. Yeah, they could absolutely be up there. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content here, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.